Hello, it's CraftyRia. Thanks for joining me today. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to recycle some Christmas cards. That's no big surprise. But today it's for a good cause. A fellow YouTuber, Tracey, at Gift Basket Appeal, had a live show tonight, and she mentioned that people were sending her cards for Mike on a bike. Well, this is pretty awesome. This guy has I think it's a Harley, motorcycle bike. Not my kind of bike where I have to actually pedal. This guy has a motor. But he lives in Florida and he has a motorcycle and he delivers Christmas cards with monetary gifts inside for children. And these are for ages 10 through 17. And he's asking for 100 cards. Well, I have a feeling, because Tracey's very popular, we're going to get over 1,000 cards. I'm going to go ahead and make 3 tonight, and then I'm going to go through my stash of ones that I made that would be appropriate for that age group. So let's get started. We'll see what we have going on here. So I went ahead and picked out 3 cards from my Christmas card stash that I thought would be really cute for that age group. I don't want to make them too childish, but yet I don't want them too boring. This one, it is perfect, I think, for like a 12-year-old boy, right? Look at this little guy. You see that steam coming out there? And on the inside is, do you hear what I hear? I love it. It made me crack up when I opened this. And this is from my Aunt Doris and Uncle Tony, and this was to one of their grandkids. But this is so funny, and I thought this would be so perfect for someone in that age group, especially a 12-year-old boy. Okay, so we're going to dress that one up. And then I thought this HoHoHo with the glitter would be awesome. That would be awesome for an adult, and it could be used for a boy or a girl. And then this joy with this hat. I love the bright colors, and I think for that age group that's really, really cool. So for these cards, there's no way I can cut these down to make them A2 size like we normally do, the 5.5 by 4.25. So I thought I would go with, I went ahead and measured them. I've got my ruler to show you. And they are about 7-ish inches by about 5 inches. So I decided I would need envelopes for these because I don't have envelopes. So I got out my handy dandy envelope punch board and I looked to find a card size that was close. And I found a 5 by 7.5. And then it would take a 10 by 10 sheet of paper. So I went through my stash of Christmas paper that I don't use very much, the 12 by 12 paper, and I picked some that I thought looked good with these. Like, for example, this one here I thought looked good with this because it has the different shades of green and it has red. I went ahead and made this envelope, and I even put stickers on it so they can address the envelope. And I even put double-sided tape on the inside, on the flap. Whenever I'm giving handmade envelopes as a gift, I always put the double-sided tape there, something with a backing, because not everybody has double-sided tape. So I have that one for that. And then I had a piece of paper that said HoHoHo, which I thought would be perfect for this because it also says HoHoHo. And then I thought I would use this red piece with the dots on it for this one. And I'll show you how I make that envelope. Let's go ahead and start with that envelope since that's the boring part. So I have my paper already cut to 10 by 10. I have my envelope punch board right here. And what's really cool about this, you can get these for about $15 on Amazon. I haven't priced them in a while, but that's the last time I looked, they were about that. So we're going to go by what did I say? 5 by 7.5 and 10 by 10. I'm going to score it at 4 1/8. And this goes by the size of the card, not the size of the envelope. So I'm going to take my piece of paper and place it in here and line it up onto the 4 1/8 mark right over here. And I make sure it's flush against this lip here. I start out by punching, and then I score my paper. Now, I'm going to run out of room to score it here because the paper is bigger than the punch board, but that's okay. I take it, I turn it 1/4 of a turn, I line up this little pointer with the score mark, and I punch and I score. Now, of course, this one you can score all the way across, and I take it, turn it 1/4 of a turn, line it up, and it should also come at this point to a 4 1/8 again over here. Punch it, score it as far as I can, which is okay if it's not perfect. Turn it around, line that up with that score mark, punch, and score. Now there's these little corners here that didn't get scored. I don't know if you can see it. You might be able to see it on the back. You can put it back into the punch board. I line it up this way, and then this piece that didn't get scored here, I could just run a little score mark there. You don't have to. You could probably fold it just fine without doing that. But I'm pretty anal when it comes to scoring things. There we go. So now it's scored completely. I'm going to put my scoring tool right back in there so I don't ever lose it. Clean up these little pieces that I punched out. Set that aside. And then I'm going to take, I fold in the 2 smaller sides first. And if my paper is one directional, I make sure I have it facing the way I want it to face with the open flap. This, of course, doesn't matter, this paper. But if it has words on it or a certain design on it, you would want to make sure it is the right way. And then I want to cut this triangle off. You can measure and make a mark, or you can just cut. I'm going to go ahead and measure and make a mark. I line up my ruler to make sure it's even. And I'm just going to make a little mark there with my pencil. Take my big long scissors and just cut that off. And if you didn't get all the pencil mark, you can erase it. Sometimes I just do it like this, just cut it, eyeball it and cut it. And for this part of it, I will use my double-sided adhesive. And if I was sending the card out, I would use this same adhesive for the flap. But since I'm giving the card away, I don't know if the person who gets it will have something to adhere it with. And what's cool about this envelope punch board, the back over here is a corner rounder. So you could just put your paper right in it, make sure it's flush as far as it'll go, and punch, and then it rounds your corner for you. Okay. Now to finish up the envelope, I will put some tape here. And I don't have enough on this roll. I'd have to open this new roll. Let's go ahead and do that, if I can. Okay, trim off that bad edge. And I'm using this tape because it has a backing, obviously. And I will put this other piece over here. There we go. And that went over the edge a little bit, but I can just trim that off with my scissors, just so the card doesn't stick to anything when I'm sending it. Okay. All right. Now the red envelope, I don't think I need to put any stickers on it. I did put stickers on these envelopes. I have some, they are inkjet printer stickers for an inkjet printer, which I don't have an inkjet printer. I only have a laser. So I got them at the Dollar Tree way back when I had an inkjet printer. So I'm using them up and I just put them on there. But for the red, they could write on it with a black pen and it should show up pretty good. So I have my envelopes and I will set those aside. And we'll get to work on the cards, which is the more fun part. So I went through my stash and I picked out some stuff that I thought I would use with the cards. I have these Santa stickers. They're foil. And I thought they were really pretty and I thought I would use them on here. And the little ones, I'll have them dance in some of the letters. This one here, I love the hat and it makes me think of a snowman. And I have these snowman stickers and they have that same type of wool hat. So I thought I would use those and maybe one of those trees because it's in the same shades of green. And it has that same type of design element as this top piece of the hat, the tassel. Then I also have these stickers, which I thought I could use one of these snowflakes on that card. This card, I don't have a whole lot going on with this, but I do have some googly eyes, and I thought they would look really cool on him. And then maybe just some other little embellishments if I can figure it out. So I have that. I'll set these googly eyes aside. And we'll start off with this guy because he is fun. I'll take one of my card bases. I cut my card bases to 5 by 7.5. I also got some paper for matting. I got some of the red construction paper and this green paper. It's not a heavy cardstock, it's just a paper. But I thought some green added to him would kind of just brighten this card right up. This video might be a little longer than my other videos, so I hope you stick with me and watch it all the way through. I hope you enjoy it. Okay. So I'm going to start by cutting this card down as usual. Get my handy dandy Cricut paper cutter, and I'm just going to cut the front off. Line it up as best I can and give it a slice. I'm going to obviously cut out the inside as well. Just trim it down a little bit so it's even on all sides or pretty close to it. You know, I just eyeball things. Okay, and there, I picked green also because the inside of that card was green and I thought it would bring some green to the front of the card. Okay. So we have this as 7.5 by 5, and I need to cut this green to mat it. First, let me see what I've got here with this card. It looks like it's going to be pretty much a good size. I might trim it down on the bottom a little bit. There's a couple of little pieces of wear from being handled, which is okay. So I'm just going to trim a little bit off. And that way more of that green will show as well. The top doesn't look, yeah, the top is bad. Never mind. I'm going to trim the top a little bit. Just a little sliver. I don't want to take too much off because it would take his antlers off. And I'm going to take a little bit off this edge too. I think this card, I know this card was given to a kid, so it was probably handled quite a bit. But that's okay. That gives me a little more room for the green to show. So I need it to be 1/4 of an inch smaller than that, so it's 5 by 7.5. So let's bring out the big guns, the big measurements. And I'm going to cut it to be 4 3/4. I hope. Let me make sure that's not gonna... Yeah, I might do a little bigger than 4 3/4. Well, wait, let me measure this again. That would give me 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch, I can't talk, on each side. That would be 1/8 of an inch on each side. Okay, so I'm going to go just a little big 4 3/4 by 5 1/4, which is again a little bit bigger. Uh-oh. I don't know how to do math. Okay, sorry. Let's do this again. Maybe I can edit this out. I'm going to go I have no idea what I'm doing. 4 3/4. Do I have enough room? Yes. Okay. By 6. See, I have that other size, 7. 7.5, 7 1/4, a little bit more than 7 1/4. I have my little size cards on the brain. Okay. Let's see if that worked. See if I can do some math here. Yes. There we go. Just watch what I do. Don't listen to what I say. And probably don't even watch what I do some of the times. Let's see if this goes. Yep, that would be great. That's perfect. I'm hoping I left a piece big enough. Yes, I did. I did leave a piece big enough to mat this on the inside, which is good. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to matting. I will start by matting this paper onto here. I always like to mat down my flimsiest piece first. This is just regular paper, it's not cardstock. I got this at Hollow's Paper Craft up in Brunswick, Ohio. And I was looking for some really good green cardstock for Christmas, and I was coming up short, but they did have this paper, and they sell it by the pound, so it was very inexpensive. It's $1.50 a pound. All right, and I'm going to line up the bottom left and the top right corner. And that way I have a more solid surface to work on when I'm going to put this on it. I want to put this on and see if I need to trim anything to make more green show. I think that's going to work out okay. Okay. It's not really what I want it to be, but it's there. It's already stuck, so it's going to have to be. Okie dokie. And then let's go ahead and mat this inside. I'm glad I left myself a mistake large enough to do this with. There we go. See, another video of me and my bloopers. And you guys getting to laugh at me, probably. If you're laughing at me, don't tell me. Just pretend I'm helping you out by showing you bloopers. And then I will eyeball this. There we go. And I'll stick this on the inside. I think this card is hilarious for someone of that age group. I just think 12-year-old boy. I don't know. If you guys have boys, let me know what you think. What age of a boy would be perfect? And I guess they sign the inside with whatever they sign the inside, and they say you can sign the back with you who made it, so I will put my stamp on the back. And I get my googly eyes. I have this gum container that's full of all kinds of googly eyes, and I love them. They are so much fun. Normally I would use tacky glue to adhere them, but since I want this to dry pretty fast, I'm not going to. I'm going to use these glue dots, and I just stick the eyeball down on a glue dot, peel it up, and I just want to make sure it's not sticking over the edge. If it is, I just push it to the back a little bit and stick the googly eye on. And I know these don't fit perfectly because you probably shouldn't see the blue of the eye, but I think it's just making it more fun because I like his big blue eyes. There we go. So I made him a googly-eyed farty reindeer, which is pretty funny, I think. So I'm going to leave that alone for now. I will decide if I want to put any other embellishments on it when I get my other stickers out. All right, on to the next card. Let's go ahead and do this one since it was on top. Now this was given to me this way. They had taken it off the card itself, so I don't have a sentiment or anything for the inside, but I do have a rubber stamp that I use, and it is this one here. It says, "May all the joys of the season be yours," and that's great because it does say joy, so I think that's perfect. I am going to go ahead and trim this edge since it's not a clean edge. I don't want to take off much of the edge, just a little tiny bit. Okay, and I think the other edges look pretty good. I always like to make sure there's no like dents or anything like that. Let me grab one of my card bases and let's measure up the size here. Now I'm going to have some room on the bottom, but I do want to go ahead and cut my card mat out, and then we'll play with that room. So again, let's see if I can do the math. I need to make this. This is 5, so I need to make it 4 3/4. Actually, I am going a 1/16 of an inch over the 4 3/4 mark. I guess that's the best way to tell you. and the other way it is 7.5, and I'm going to do the same thing with 7 1/4 and bring it over 1/16 more. So 1/4 inch is 4/16. I'm going 5/16, and then the same with that one. So if you want to know the exact measurements. Okie dokie, so we have that, and I like the size of the white border it leaves. I think what I'm going to do, I have this great tape, this green, I don't know if you can tell, it's very glittery. It is made by AC Glitter Tape, American Crafts. And I thought it would go really good on here, but I want a red border all the way around it. So I'm going to trim a little bit off the very top and the very bottom of the card. I don't think it's going to lose anything if I do that. And that'll give me more room to put that tape on there. It doesn't lose any of the image. Yep, I think that'll be perfect. Okay, so normally what I do, I like to, you know, like I said, put the flimsy piece down, but since I'm going to put that tape on, I'm going to leave the flimsy piece off for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and put this on like this. I like the color of this green card. I think it's really pretty. It's very trendy. Neon kind of. Very cool. And I'm going to put it up onto the, close to the top of the card and leave a border at the bottom. There. And then I will take a piece of this tape and cut it a little bit bigger than my card. And then I will peel the backing off of this glitter tape if I can. There we go. I got this tape years ago. I've had it for so long in my stash. And I'm finally using it, which is wonderful. Okay. And this is why I wanted it off of the other piece, so I can trim this flush with the red. Okay. Get these sticky pieces off my fingers. Okay. Now I will put it on this card. There we go. I think that looks really cute. I hope the kids really enjoy the cards. He does have a Facebook page. I will link it below, and I will put the address below in case you want to send some cards as well. That would be wonderful. They need them by August 31st, or at least mail them by August 31st. I think that's what Tracy was saying. All right, so I got this little guy. I thought he matched with the green scarf and hat, and I think I'm gonna just have him hanging out in that O. I think that's so cute. And then one of these little Christmas trees I'm going to put down at the bottom. I might actually do it this way. I wonder if I should do it like that. Yes, to kind of tie in that whole bottom piece there. I love it. And I thought this snowflake looked really good on that hat because it has that same green and it's got a little bit of glitter on it. And then there's a couple of these little snowflakes that I could just add around if I wanted to, just randomly. And there we go. I'm trying to get it straight in my camera here. So there we go. We have Joy and we have a snowflake and an adorable foil snowman. It just brings some shimmer to the front, and then this cool tree down at the bottom. Alright, so we got that card done. Now let's move on to the last card. Let's see. Get my stuff out here. This one might be my favorite. I love this because I love glitter. I'm a glitter holic, I guess. I didn't purposely save it for last. That's just how it worked out. I'm going to cut off, as you can see, they just ripped the card off the back, which is fine. I will take them any way I can get them. And I will cut that piece off. And then measure it up on here and see what else I want to cut off. I don't need to cut any off, I don't think, from the top of their bottom. I might cut a little bit off this right side to make it match the left, since the letters are almost touching the edge. Alright, and again, I will take my handy dandy construction paper and I will cut it down to size. So I have to think of my measurements here because I don't know why I can't remember my measurements. I have 5 inches, so I'm going to do it at 4 3/4. I'm actually going to cut this little edge off. This piece of paper does not have a clean edge. So I'm going to go with 4 3/4 and move it over a 1/16 of an inch. That's an easy way to say it. And then, whoops, I'm going to trim off this edge because it's not a clean edge either. And this is 7 1/2, so I'm going to do 7 5/16, I guess. Okay. Yep, that looks really good. Let me get my HoHoHo and see how that looks on there. Not very much room left to write, so I'm going to trim it in just until the letters practically touch the edge. Just to, so more of that red will show. Sometimes you just gotta go with it. Alter it to your own dimensions. That's much better. Okay. And I'll do it in my normal way, is put this flimsier piece onto the card base first, just so I have something more sturdy to work with. Of course, that's just my preference. You can do it however you like. Oh, and be really careful when handling it. because you'll take the adhesive off with your fingers. All right. I'm going to measure up the bottom left and the top right, and then push it down. And then this one I will do the same thing with. All right. Yeah, this card ministry sounds really, really cool. He said he doesn't want donations to go inside the cards. He just wants the cards. There we go. And I guess we're all sending them to Tracey, and then she will send them on to him. Okay, so we have that, and that looks great just as it is. But I have these adorable foil Santas that I think are the cutest things. And I thought I would have one like holding up this H, hanging out in the O, and then hanging out on this H up here. If I can get them off of the backing. Oh, the back's clear. I thought the whole thing was peeling off. I had a hard time with that. Okay, so this guy is kind of like holding that H up. And this one here will be kind of dancing in the O. Kind of in the middle. And one of the other small ones can be hanging out on top of that H. Whoops. Come here, Santa. Unless I want him in the bottom again. Or what if I have him in the middle? I'll put him there, like that. There we go. So then I have HoHoHo with the Santas in there. I think that's kind of cute. They're in there just dancing with it. And I'll stamp my sentiment in the middle. All right. So here we have it. We have these cards. I have the Santas and the HoHoHo with this envelope. And I have the Joy with the snowman and the hat with this envelope. And where did he go? I have the farting reindeer with the googly eyes, which is awesome. And do you hear what I hear? Do you smell what I smell? Okay, so there we go. I have that. And these are 3 cards that I will be sending to Tracey so she can send on to Mike on a Bike. I think it's Mike on a Bike. I will post all of that information below. I will also link Tracey's YouTube channel. She's really awesome. She's hilarious. She does live videos. She's really great to watch. And I'll link it, but you have to promise to come back and watch my channel after watching hers, because she's better than me. I don't want to lose you to her, but I want to share her with you. So, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please leave me a comment below and let me know if you are going to make any cards to send to Mike on a Bike. If you want to do them, I think he does this every year, so you can send them to him later than the end of August, and he'll save them for next year. All right, or if you know of any other card ministries that need cards, please post them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to share them on my channel and make some cards for them if time allows. But, well, as you know, time's going to allow. This is all I do. This is my life. It's okay, maybe not all I do, but it's one of my favorite things to do. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. Once I reach 100 subscribers, I will be doing a pretty awesome giveaway. So please share this with a friend, and maybe we can get up to 100 and I can do that giveaway pretty soon. You guys take care and have a wonderful day, and go get crafting. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm back for just a hot second. I wanted to come in and show you the cards that I will be sending to Tracey for the Mike on a Bike ministry. As you saw that we just made these, I have this one and the farting reindeer and the HoHoHo. And I went through my stash of pre-made Christmas cards, or the ones that I made on other videos. I have this one. I didn't do this on a video yet. I think I'm going to, because I have another card like it. I have several actually. And I thought it was really pretty. It's got some bling on the bottom. It's got some bling on the trees. I put some candy canes on there, and the inside says Jingle All the Way. I thought that would be really cute. And then this was from a past video. These little guys sledding down the hill. I cut the card apart and made it three-dimensional. Popped this top part of the hill up on some pop dots. You can look back through my old videos if you want to see exactly how I did that. Really a cool technique. And then I also have this one, which is a nicely embossed Santa, and I put a bunch of bling on the tree and around on the ground and on his hat. So that one's kind of pretty, and I thought that would be really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and send her these 6 cards for the Mike on a Bike ministry. I hope you enjoyed watching the video, and please don't forget to leave me a comment below if you will be sending her something for the ministry as well. And if you know of another ministry, please post it below. You guys take care. I appreciate you watching, and now you go get crafting. Bye-bye.